to another episode of The Basement. I am here with Miss Andrea Angell. Introduce yourself, Andrea. What kind of music do you play? What do you do?
Hey, I'm Andrea Angell. I'm a singer. I write pop, alt pop, sort of R&B vibes.
How long have you been in the game for?
The music game?
Yeah.
Not very long. Well,
Ooh.
I've been playing music all my life, you know, like I've sang since I could talk, and I played violin for 7-8 years, played piano a little bit, but never wrote my own music, and never really took it seriously until probably the beginning of last year, maybe the year before, the end of the year before. I've been a singer forever, and I love singing. I was the type to really just like be stoked to be alone in my car, you know, 2 hours to just jam and go crazy. And when Brody started making music, well, not started, but when I met him, he was making music, and throughout the years, I'd be like, can you write something that I can sing on, you know, and, you know, I just want to sing something, and he'd be like, yeah, but he's busy with his own stuff. And finally, a couple years ago, I was like, well, fuck this, I'll write something myself, you know. And we were luckily around a group of really creative people, just sort of getting together every week just to create something, you know.
Just a jam.
Art, jam, yeah, anything. And so I got inspired, and I was like, all right, I can do this, and started writing a little bit, and really found myself in it, really found love for it.
So did you write a full album? Did you release an EP or anything like that? Or you just releasing singles and stuff like that?
Haven't released anything yet, actually, because I'm working on my EP. I have 2 songs that have been produced, finished. I'm really excited about those. And I have more written that I'm waiting to get back in the studio for, but just waiting to get the EP done.
Awesome. So what'd you do before you really started making music?
Well, I've always been an artist. I was working in the film industry, so my profession is as a camera assistant. But no, I work in movies and commercials, TV, basically. And I went to art school, and it was crazy because, like I said, I've always been into art, but music. So adjacent to that, I also I'm on this sort of spiritual journey, and have been for many, many years, like as long as I can remember. And I have a passion for like healing and finding myself and bettering myself and learning to be vulnerable and heal in whatever way that comes through. And art in itself is always cathartic, right? You know,
yeah.
Like we release, and like you guys were talking about, like we use it as an outlet, as an expression, but it's so easy with other mediums to hide, to sort of abstract what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, this painting is about this experience I had, but no one is gonna know exactly that. They're gonna put their own interpretation on it. Where with music, if you don't relate it, if you don't really talk about your experience in a vulnerable way, people aren't going to resonate or connect with it as much. So then how do you get your music out there, you know?
Yeah, and then like for me, almost like, I'm not sure if you can relate, like if I'm not honest in a song, I feel like I'm not being honest about myself.
Yeah, exactly that. And that teaches me about myself. You know, I'm like, all right, I'm going to write a song because I'm feeling like this. And sometimes it's one of those things where you just have to get it out, you know, and you know, like, and I'm like, wow, this is an honest song. This is exactly how I felt in the moment. And it resonates. People are like, yeah, I felt like that. That's sick.
Yeah.
And then I'll write something where I'm like, I'm going to talk about this. And if it's a conceptual thing, if I don't really feel it, it sounds so lame. It sounds so cheesy in my head. And I'm like, I can't do this. And it ends up being so not what I wanted it to be.
Was there a catalyst for the start of that whole mental journey you were talking about?
It's hard, probably. Yeah, I don't really remember.
I love it.
Yeah, no, I don't remember. I've been into like the spiritual world for forever, but it's sort of just like, I don't know, understanding energy and the way that we communicate and the power of our mind and how powerful we are and stuff. But it didn't really become a journey of healing, I'd say, until probably 2017 2017, 2018. I like became a different person. I was like dealing with a lot of trauma and a lot of hurt, and was like going through this period of time where I'm like, what? No, this was earlier than that. Maybe a couple years before that. But I was like, who is this person? Like, I'm like, why am I being like this? Is not who I am. Yeah. And therapy really started it.
Same.
Yeah.
Since I feel like we're very similar, like we both waited so long to start writing music for like different reasons, but like I love that we both got to that point. What was the first song you were writing where you just thought to yourself, or you just got the goosebumps, like this is right, this is, and just you got the bug? What was the song that like you were working on and you were like, this is it, this is why I want to keep doing this?
Ooh, that's hard. That's hard because I began writing as a collaboration. We spent 6 weeks quarantined on a farm together during quarantine. So when quarantine started, we were like, let's go up to Northern Cal and stay on our friend's mom's art farm. And we stayed there, and everyone there was a musician. And we would listen to beats. Brody and our other friend would rap on them, and then it was 3 girls, 2 guys, we'd sing on them. And we would just create, and it became this really cool exercise where we'd use a word generator. Ooh. You know, and come up with 1 or 2 words, and then be like, all right, everyone go. It wasn't collaborative as in let's write a cohesive song. It was like, you write a verse, we're gonna put the beat on for 30 minutes, you write a verse, I'll write a verse, you write a verse, you write a verse, and then just go record your verse. No one like approved it, there was no verification, anything.
That sounds amazing.
It was dope, and we ended up with some really cool stuff. And so that was really fun in the process, and I was like, it was less of a vulnerable thing, because I was like, well, okay, these words, it was kind of rappy, you know, and these words work, and it was really artistic in that way.
That sounds so beautiful. Is there any way to like, is that shared anywhere online?
It will be soon. Our band was called Everything Is Dope.
Love that.
It was from doing acid, actually, and I discovered that everything is dope. And
yep. Yep.
So that became the name of the band, and because that was sort of like the idea of it. We were like, oh my god, the world is amazing. We live in a simulation. I can do whatever the fuck I want, because what is it? It's like exactly what you were saying. Like, life is short. Do exactly what you want with it, with the time that you have. Mm. I remember when we all did the same amount of acid, and I don't know really how the dosages work, but I'm a little lady, and so I was extremely high. And I was like, we're on this farm. It was so cool because there was absolutely no one. It was like 3 acres of land, and we could just roam. And I remember I was like, I can see every dimension right here in front of me. Like, I'm this, like, whatever, I can be anything. I'm like this, like, energy, whatever. And I was like, wait, but I need socks because it's cold.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Where I was like, wait, I'm still a human. And I was like, all right. And then, like, going to open up the suitcase to find my socks, I was just cracking up. I'm like, I'm like up here and also still way down here, like just being.
It's so weird what some of the preconceived notions you get like before you try these drugs. Like, I remember like 2 of my roommates, like they weren't partaking, but we're like, we're gonna hide the knives from all you guys, and like we're probably not even gonna remember they're there.
Yeah.
And we didn't even move from the couch.
Okay, so this is again with the creative process, because I sort of stopped doing shrooms for like a few years. But not that I did them a bunch. I did them like a couple of times, and then
It's something I feel like everyone should do like once in their life.
Yeah, it's almost like it takes away the extra shit that your brain puts on every situation, you know, where it's like overthinking, anxiety, whatever, like other interpretations of how things could be going, and it just shows you exactly what is there. It brings you back to presence, and you're like, oh, everything is not what I think it is. You know, it just is what it is. And I think that shrooms and acid for me remind me of that. But yeah, I sort of, with shrooms, I sort of like get these for months afterwards. I'm like, oh my god, I can't like remember anything, and I like blame the shrooms, and then I realize I'm like, okay, that's not it.
I'm just getting older, my mind's going crazy. Like, that's really all it is.
Decaying.
If I'm not remembering, it's not important enough.
True. I mean, true that.
Because especially for me, I would always remember everything, like try to remember everything that happened. So much to the point, like, I caused more anxiety. It was like, I have to be right. I have to, like, explain my point. It's like, no. It's okay. If you're not remembering everything that happens, it means it didn't mean that much to you.
Yeah, for me, it's vocabulary. I'll lose, like, vocabulary that I really want to use.
I'm very hard at wording.
Yeah. And I'll, like, be going to write, and I'm like, I want to be this like lyrical genius, you know,
Yep.
type of shit. And then I like get all in my head, and then I'm like, what is the word for like whatever simple ass thing that I'm trying to say?
I do this, and I'm not ashamed to admit this as a rapper. If I have a roadblock on some word, I will type in rhymes for insert word.
I found like if you're like waiting for the next line, you're like, okay, but what comes after this? If I look up what rhymes with it, I'm like, all right, well that could go with what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it gives you almost a few different roads to go down in terms of lyrics.
Exactly.
And I like that a bit better.
Yeah.
Which I feel almost like it's part of like our society. Like we always tell people, especially in education, you have to pick one thing. You got to go for this job. When that's not completely true. You can do more than one thing and still make a living and be happy.
Oh my god, that's a huge thing for me because with music now, I like fell in love with it so hard, and it's become so much of my own art that people in the film industry, it's so funny because it's such a niche, you know, working in the film industry or being a camera assistant. And like people who are camera assistants are super devoted to it, super like knowing all the tech when they're at home, you know, like it's not just work. And so, and their Instagrams are all cameras and this and that. But I'm not just a camera person, not just a cinematographer, you know, I'm an artist as a whole. And so when I got into music and I started posting about it on Instagram, because I'm like, how else am I going to get people to listen to it, right? I got so many messages from people in the film industry who were like, oh, so you're done with the film industry now? And I was like, no. What do you mean? Yeah, like it was so mind-blowing to me because I'm like, oh, why would you have to just pick one art form?
That's crazy to me because I always felt like, especially like movies stuff, like they're also like an art form. I feel like that would be something that's like more accepted, especially since like directors, there are actors who also direct, who also write, like that's kind of crazy.
I think a lot of it was just curiosity where it's like, you seem to be pushing music really hard. Are you, you know, what are you trying to do? Like, that's what I assume, where I assume it came from, but it was really like, oh, so you're done now? And I was like, no, I just, it's so hard to explain, and I feel like I always have to over-explain where I'm like, I'm still
right there
working,
with you.
and, you know, and I don't know. Being a singer, like, I've been getting vocal training, and really, straight up, dude, I had to relearn how to sing. It sort of threw me hard, because I was like, grew up, and I was like, oh yeah, I can sing, and whatever, I like singing, and then I really learned how to sing.
And it breaks you down.
It does. It straight up where I was like, I like lost my voice for a bit. And I just knew when I was singing correctly, it wasn't sounding the way I wanted it to sound because I had all these like subconscious things that I was doing that would like enhance my voice.
Yeah, you had your habits. You had your habits that you were used to.
Exactly. And so it became this whole process of like learning how to sing correctly. And I was like, oh my God, like and it's still going. I've been in vocal coaching for like 8 months maybe, and you know it's so daunting. My coach is like, you know, it'll take 3-4 years for you to get to be in the place where you want to be, and I'm like, oh, what? Like I want to be there tomorrow. And then, you know, I stopped smoking, which helped a bunch, and then I came back to New York, and I was like, we're chilling, we're partying, started smoking, down the shitter, for real. Like, it becomes such a practice of discipline and, like, whole body discipline, because your voice it's not an instrument. You're like, I can take care of my guitar, I can change the strings, but if I'm, like, whatever I'm doing in my daily life, that's affecting my
You literally
instrument.
have to take care of your physical health, which, that's why I always give, like, all the vocalists so much credit. Singers, they're some of the best athletes out there, let me tell you, and that's something I've learned just from my experience in classical music and all that, and like I give so much credit for that.
Yeah, and for me it's been such a learning, because I'm still learning to balance that, where I'm like, okay, I know this thing is either unhealthy for me or affects my voice, but it's so fun, you know? Yeah. And then like where does that balance come in? And I've gone through periods of being really strict about it, and my voice gets better, but then I'm like, okay, but I'm not fulfilling that part of me, and it becomes, again, what do you care about?
But I feel like singers almost at the time can develop better self-discipline, because I always see singers, it's so easy for them to just like almost do a tea break and like then come back, like really like have that self-discipline. Because now I'm sure you're learning like once you catch yourself doing something wrong with your technique, you know to fix it and you know how to fix it.
That's true. And it also depends on the person, you know. I think like other people, I get affected more than other people, and other people get more affected than me. But what I notice more are the people who don't get affected. Like, we talk about it all the time. Like, you see MGK smoking a blunt on stage, and he'll take a hit and just play his song. And I'm like, I would sound like a toad. So excited. I'm so happy to be here again.
Back in Long Island?
Yeah, well, technically Brooklyn's Long Island.
Brooklyn,
but
Long Island,
yeah, East Coast, dude. East Coast vibes. Everyone's on the reel.
I was about to say, so why'd you guys move out to California? What was that all about?
Brody got a super sweet job working for California skate parks, designing dope skate parks for, like, huge, the Olympics and stuff.
Damn.
And so we moved out there he moved out in, like, 2 or 3 weeks. It was like, got the job, all right, I'll be there in a couple weeks, which was crazy for me.
That's the goal.
And I took a couple months, and then it's amazing out there. It's beautiful, beautiful, like, optimal weather every second of the day, you know? But it's just a little different, you know? People are different, the vibes are different. There's something, I think, about the camaraderie that the cold brings.
You were saying, like, that's just the people out there are different, like, the vibes different. Like, that's just so crazy how, at least for me, like, going away to someplace for, like, a year or two, like, just living somewhere else and then coming back and just having a different perspective on everything and, like, helping you realize what you need and what you want in your life and what you want in your surroundings. And I feel like everyone, like, not necessarily go away to college because, like, unfortunately that's really the only opportunity kids have nowadays to really, like, go out on their own. But if they can't do that, like, definitely try to just relocate yourself wherever you can, even if you don't really know that many people. Like, just go visit, go travel. People,
Yeah.
seriously. Go experience other people, other cultures, even within the United States. Like, it's amazing how many people you'll find with different viewpoints. And, like, if you ever feel like you're not in the right place or right city, could be 100% true.
And just, yeah, and just move. And I like what you said about, like, it helps you define what it is you're looking for, what you find important, and that's sort of what it became for us, because it's sort of nice because family's here, but it's just a different mode of operation. And we're all, you know, older, and sort of, I would hope to have more, like, we'll have a bit more confidence in who we are, where we can say, like, oh, you're my homie and I want what's best for you. Where in high school, everything, I felt extremely codependent.
I almost feel, I hate sometimes I'm always, like, asking for, like, not reinforcement, almost just, like, confirmation that what I'm thinking or what I experience, like, isn't crazy. Yeah. And I almost feel like that kind of almost treads the line of codependence, and I hate that.
It's not, though. I think everyone experiences that and everyone feels that, but most people just don't want to ask, and that's how, like,
I feel like that's why we're musicians, almost. Like, what are we writing songs for if not just to ask questions, to share a story, and, like, really, like, hopefully it connects to someone. Like, we want someone else to relate to it.
Yeah, and I think that's such a huge part of music, is we're, as musicians, learning that we're never alone in any single thing that we think. If one person feels something you say and doesn't feel the other thing, someone else will feel that thing. You know, we're never alone in any emotion, in any thought, and that's really beautiful to see. And then from the audience, we feel that as well. We're like, wow, you're going out and saying this thing out loud to, like, so many people. It makes me feel like it's okay to live in that emotion.
We always say we wonder what it's like living in someone else's shoes, walking through their eyes, but, like, that's what I love about music and art. Like, that's really the only way you can experience something, through someone else's eyes or through their words. Because, like you were saying about, like, just art in general, like a painting or something, like, that's literally what the artist sees, like, their representation of, like, depression, happiness, like, all those abstract pieces. They're beautiful in their own way, because, like, that's how things are. They're not always black and white. It's not always yes or no.
I think that's a big part of, like, connecting to people in the way where, like you said, like, it allows you to see through someone else's eyes or step in their shoes. Like, I see so many YouTube comments that are like, I don't know, you know, Halsey has the song, and she has
Halsey.
Yeah, she's dope. She has a line that says, she's like, I'm so glad I never ever had a baby with you. And there's someone in the comments that's like, I'm a grown man and I'm screaming, I'm so glad I never had a baby, you know, like he's like just really feeling her, and I'm like, that's sick. Like she was able to impart something that he probably never would have.
But the thing is, that's so
about.
crazy. Like that, she writes that line. Like someone could think, like, oh, she's just saying that for like other girls out there. But like, no, that could apply to guys as well. Like,
Exactly.
so what's next for Miss Andrea Angell?
Wait for this EP coming out this summer, June 6th. Probably.
There we go. You got Instagram, Facebook, any links that we can share for the people?
Instagram, Miss Andrea Angell, Miss.Andrea.Angel, and yeah, TikTok too. Got to get in with those kiddos.
Gotta love TikTok. I miss Vine though.
Vine, I never got into Vine. But to be honest with you, I was never. But I've watched the ones that people showed me, and they were hilarious.
Best. For you kids out there, Vine is and always will be better than TikTok. Miss Andrea Angell, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to reset for a second, and you're going to hear her play some fantastic songs that she has been writing and working on specifically for her EP.
Hell yeah. Hi, I'm Andrea Angell, and this is Have Mercy. Lying in the bed, my hands running over your chest. I've traced these lines 1,000 times. Something's different, something's different. You've tightened your grip, and I'm nakeder than naked with you. I'm holier than holy with you, and I need you, need you. To have mercy on me, have mercy on me. Won't usually admit that I'm weak, but the way your body moves on my body, have mercy. So slowly, reading my skin like it's braille. You whisper this is heaven, but if heaven's what they say it is, come close to this. I'm nakeder than naked with you. I'm holier than holy with you, and I need you, need you. To have mercy on me, have mercy on me. Won't usually admit that I'm weak, but the way your body moves on my body, have mercy on me, have mercy on me. Won't usually my body, have mercy. Yeah. 6 years, more smiles than tears. Tell me why I'm fighting them now. Said you would always be mine, but now you're nervous when she comes around. When you tell me you're so proud, are you telling her you're trying to get out? Tell me how you'll do it, tell me how you'll get on without me. I'd like to think I'd walk away and say, you don't deserve me. I'm more than worthy of love. But more likely I'll sit here dreaming up a world where I am made for you. I can't die made for you. I keep running through all the scenes where you take my hand, say love. There's no one you're not above. I love you, I love you, I love you. But sometimes love is just not enough. Tell me how you'll do it, tell me how you'll get on without me. I'd like to think I'd walk away and say, you don't deserve me. I'm more than worthy of love. But more likely I'll sit here dreaming up a world where I am made for you. I can't die made for you. Do you think you'll miss me, or will you just move on like you did before? You've got a whole mess of girls who would break my heart just to get to yours, and you'd let them, so do it, just do it, just do it, just do it. But before you go, tell me how you'll do it, tell me how you'll get on without me. I'd like to think I'd walk away and say, you don't deserve me. I'm more than worthy of love. But more likely I'll sit here dreaming up a world where I am made for you. I can't die made for you. Dope.
Thank you so much for watching episode 4 of The Basement. We hope you enjoyed our time with Miss Andrea Angell. If you want to check out that EP, make sure you check it out when it drops June 6th. If you want to check her out, make sure you check out her Instagram and her TikTok. Please don't forget to like the video, say hi in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. We have 2 more episodes for you guys. I am your host, Lex Rhodes. We'll see you next time on The Basement.